5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Fire in the hole. All right, for the past what feels like forever, I've been working on this Range Rover. If you're just now coming to the series, the last video, the engine completely seized up on me. Yes, the engine that I put together, the engine that took me forever to get in, the engine that was supposed to save the day, did not. And so I've got to get a new engine to this thing along with a bunch of other stuff just to get this thing back on the road. It's the never-ending project. I thought it was going to take like 4 to 6 months, and at the point of this video, we're at 9 months. At the point of me filming what I'm filming right now, it's been a lot longer than 9 months. Now this is a short wheelbase car, meaning that it's a little bit shorter than most of the Range Rovers that you've seen on the street in the US anyway. We don't have a lot of SWB cars here, and it needs a headliner. And the problem with that is there's not any. Like, you just can't get them. Nobody had them. I could not find a headliner anywhere. And so I decided to make one. I did buy a long wheelbase car as a parts car when I first started this project. So I pulled the headliner out of it. They look identical except for the long wheelbase is like 4 inches longer. And so I laid it on top of the short wheelbase, lined them up with the sunroofs, and cut it right down the middle. I'm going to section out 4 inches of this thing, put it back together, tape it with some Gorilla Tape, and just hope that it holds. The section that I cut is between the handles for the passenger, so hopefully those 2 hard mounting points along with the tape and the fabric is going to hold all of this together. And this is why I cleaned the spare like I did. It goes in right there. I just didn't want to put a dirty wheel inside this car. There we go. And I think we're going to use it. What it is it basically mounts just like that. If I remember right, it goes just like this. This is a design that I did in CAD and have my buddy Taylor over at Foothills Fab Plasma cut it out for me. So really nice. But I mismeasured. Now I don't know if you can tell what this is, but it's basically a sunroof surround. It makes up the gap that I have from going from my metal sunroof to glass sunroof. The headliner doesn't quite fit. I couldn't find a headliner board anywhere in the States for this specific car. So this is what we're having to do. But I mismeasured by about 2 inches. I'm not even gonna go into the details, that's just what happened. So I'm gonna shrink it. We're gonna cut 2-inch section out. I've already got it marked. We're going to pull it in. We'll grind it down and weld it. Grind that down smooth, and then this should be the right size. Panel that's gonna bolt in just like that. Hold our headliner up. Okay, this is the old engine. This is the second engine this car has had. The first engine was seized. The second engine seized itself somehow. We're not really sure yet. This is the third engine in the car. And I think that I'm ready to try and start it. Now I know it runs because I had someone put this engine in for me because I just couldn't do it. Mentally, physically, I didn't have the time, the ability. So I had somebody do it. I paid a lot of money to have him put it in. I just hope it doesn't blow up. I'm dreading this point for months now just because it could all go wrong again. We're gonna video this time. The last time the engine seized, I wasn't videoing because I didn't think that there was any risk involved. I had already driven the car around the parking lot, just idled it, and had no issues. And then out of nowhere, I literally was just pulling it out to take some pictures of the truck to send to the owner. The engine just seized up, so no film there, but this time we will film it all. And I know it's better for the video if the engine blows up and goes up in fire. It'll be better for my mental health if the engine just runs. So that's what we're shooting for. That's what we're gonna do. So I'm gonna clean this stuff up, and then we're gonna try to start it. Man, that sucks. All right, we're siphoning power off the Titan to run this thing. Big news though. I installed this oil pressure gauge because we're not gonna do what we did last time, because I'm pretty sure I starved the engine of oil. One of the problems I'm gonna immediately have, I haven't even started the engine yet. You can see how close those two belts are. Now they're not touching, which is cool, but you can also see we're out of line with the pulley, and that's been an issue. With this new engine, I had to space the alternator out, space the power steering pump out. It looks like I'm gonna have to space this fan out a little bit. The belt came off, so that's gonna be the next thing to tackle. We'll have to get that spaced out so that the belt lines up and it can't pop itself off again. All right, so I have a solution. You might be wondering, wasn't the truck right here last time we videoed it? And it was. I was standing behind it the other day talking to my buddy Jonathan, and it rolled. Luckily, we have a giant pile of gravel that caught it. I'm having to charge it with the truck right now. So nothing got damaged, but it was pretty scary. Here, you can see now, my belt lines up. So we were about 1/4 of an inch back this way. I spaced this pulley out, and then we spaced our tensioner out. We've got a new alternator. I wired that up now, so we should be good. I think this is how it goes. There are a bunch of wires here that are different. All right, we're back on. Got our oil pressure gauge going. The truck is charging us up, which is good. I don't have air fuel, so I'm probably gonna have to reset that. We'll just go ahead and try to start it real quick and see what happens. All right, alternator's working. Crud. Okay, we're running away. Crud. What's going on? What's going on? Running by itself. How do we turn it off? Come on. Come on. No. Goodness. Oh. Okay, the belt popped off. I don't know. I did. The key is out. Turn the key off. It didn't do anything. Yeah. Yeah. Wow. Wow. That was a good step. I pulled one of the battery grounds off that runs to my electronics. It's still.
I heard something jingle right when it cranked up.
This belt just got popped off and roasted, which is what you heard. So that's great. It doesn't look like it got destroyed, but the question is not that of what happened to the belt. It's why did the engine not turn off with the key? This car's cursed. I did mention that it just rolled down the hill like 2 days ago on its own. Now it is driving and running by itself, so I've got to figure that out. All right, well, I'm not gonna walk you guys through this again. This is a tip number like 25 at getting this car running. I'm just gonna work on it and see what caused it to keep running. Maybe it was the Bauer. Maybe it was something that I connected to the alternator. I don't know. The alternator was charging, so that's a positive thing. Forgot I installed these breakers. So let's not forget that next time. I'm gonna try to start it again, and if it does run away like it did, I'll hit the breakers and it'll turn off. Will it shut off? No. Still in runaway mode. That was easier. But the belt stayed on that time, so that's good. Okay, cool. Maybe we solved that problem. Maybe it's the alternator. Maybe it's the alternator. Start. All right, well, we've got voltage. That's good. Hey, we've got air fuel. Great. All right, there you go. All right, we figured it out. Awesome, awesome, awesome. So something to do with the alternator wiring, which we'll just ditch because we don't need it. I don't think we have a voltage gauge on the dash. I want this to feel like a stock car. Yeah, we don't. No voltage gauge on the dash. We have one in the Holly, so so no big deal. Got to use the door because my tripod got destroyed. I don't know, it just did. So we'll use this. We're going to start it up. I've got the coolant reservoir full. I'm hoping that it will bleed the air out. That's what it's supposed to do, but doesn't always work. So we'll hope that it bleeds the air out. I'm gonna watch temperatures. I've got it set. I've set the idle at 2,000 RPM because the cam that we put in. This is a cammed motor, and it requires a 20 minutes at 2,000 RPM break-in when you first put it in. So we're gonna go ahead and do that. We didn't do it on the last engine, but when we put the cam in this engine, we swapped it over. It still looks really good. So we'll go ahead and do that. And we're watching voltage, we're watching AFRs, which we're at 14.2 or so, which is good for idling. And then we're gonna watch oil pressure, and we're gonna watch, I don't know, I guess that's it. So, hopes are not high, but maybe the car will prove me wrong yet. Let me find a place to sit you guys. That'd be good. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Fire in the hole. All right, oil pressure's good. Idle is in closed loop at 14 flat pretty much. 2,032 RPM. Holding pretty steady there. 13.7 volts of the battery, that's good. You see it's still climbing. We want it to stop climbing. We need it to stop climbing. If it doesn't, it means there's air in the system. The last time we did this, it took me like 3 or 4 tries to get all the air out, and I ended up having to buy the vacuum cleaner, or the vacuum filler. I'm comfortable to let it get to like 210, 215, but it doesn't look like it's going to. All right. Come on. Stop. All right, we're killing it. We're killing it. Dadgum. Okay. Oh, I don't have any electric fans here. All right. Well, good news. There's good news here. Good news is the engine sounds way, way healthier. I didn't know what these were supposed to sound like. Granted, this one is like 20 years newer than the other one, or 15. So the engine does sound way healthier, but the coolant is still going to be an issue here. Back out here again. I put some fresh water in. Oh, that's good news. Temperature's going down. That is hot. So there's hot coolant up top. That's good. 211, 212, still climbing. Come on, baby. Go down. Me running at 2,000 RPM probably isn't helping, but it really, I mean, it should be able to maintain temperature with 2,000 RPM. Oh, let's go, let's go, let's go. Yes, dude. Get down there, boy. That is good. Ah, thank goodness, man. All right. So, water pump and thermostat are working. We're low on fuel. Ooh, glad we looked at that one. Maybe it's not the best time to break this cam in. All right, this thing's working. I'm gonna go buy some gas. I'm gonna go buy some gas for this car. Sweet, and we'll get all our sensors plugged in, or the ones that I can plug in. Gotta do some tuning to get the idle down a little bit, but it sounds awesome. All right, all good. Brakes work, e-brake works, and the belt's still connected. As you can see, I haven't really even touched the shop. I did wire the whole thing for lights and everything, but it's, you know, there's no power. So haven't done any of my organization. Everything's just thrown in here until we get power, which was supposed to be yesterday, but you know, here we are. All right, these are the seats. Look at them. I think these things came out great. Again, reverb, because I haven't done anything in the shop for sound. But anyway, I think these things turned out great. We do have, it's kind of a two-tone now. Used to, the fabric was about the same color as this. I found fabric like this that was this Sunbrella tether or terry material, but it was a limited run, so I couldn't get it. This one is normal, so I can get as much as I want, which is good. So we recovered this. We've kind of got this two-tone taupe versus beige coloration, and I think it's going to work well inside the car. One of the things that the owner of this car really wanted was this specific material on the seats. They kept talking about how much they loved the cloth seats, something that you could not really get in the States. So it's funny because I think it's pretty normal in like Great Britain to have the seats like this, but not here. It's very easy to get leather seats, not easy at all to find these. So we recovered them. You can see, I mean, he did an awesome job. This is not really wanting to work, but I mean, it just looks great. Made the little pull and everything. Very, very impressed. Very impressed. So we're gonna throw these in real quick. They are pretty easy to put in. And yeah, I think it's gonna make a huge, huge difference to the way the interior looks. And I'm very excited about that. All right, sun's going down. So the lighting is awesome. I don't have a tripod. I want to drive this on the street and I want you guys to see it. So we're gonna go to the street and I'm gonna try to find a tree to set this phone on and drive it back and forth. But as you can see, the car is, you know, fairly complete. We don't have a dash, but overall it's looking really good. The back seats are in now, and they all work like they should. The windows don't go up and down. I don't have any function on any of my windows, so I'm guessing fuse, which we'll cross that bridge when we come to it. Pretty normal problem. But let's see, when was this driven last? So, 09. That was the last time this car was registered, and that was the last time it was driven, which was the year I graduated high school. So, it's been a while for this one, and it was not an easy decade and some change. Now, you can see my head is like touching. The seats from when I took them out are all the way in the up position, and I can't control them at the moment, so I'm just gonna pretend to be tall. And I feel sorry for the tall guys when it comes to cars, because there's no room in here. Now, something that's been awesome about this is every time, now look, I'm gonna say this, and it's gonna jinx me. Every time I've started it, right up. It starts high and then it'll settle down. Very, very good. All right, we're gonna go reverse. I'm gonna crank this thing around. Four-wheel drive works really well on this car. It's always four-wheel drive, and I drove it up out of the shop and it was very easy. It's very slick up there, so two-wheel drive cars actually can't make it down and back up. There we go. There's somebody coming down my road. Let's see. What are they doing? That was very weird. We're gonna go up here, I think. Big hill. This will be the first time this car has ever shifted. Will it shift? Speedometer works now. You can see I got the tachometer working as well. There we go. That felt pretty good. Man, there's never cars up here. Oh, I know who that is. Okay. Go this way. Uh-oh. Well, that was weird. All right, I must have a loose battery connection because I just lost power. So we're just gonna turn this guy around. Neighbor's probably wondering what's going on. Let's see. Going down a very steep hill. I don't know if you can tell, but super steep. Brakes work. So I did bleed these brakes with my Phoenix Systems bleeder, and you know, that thing is awesome. So I'm sure that's why. That was long ago, but it must not have any leaks. All right, we're on a flat piece of land now. I'm gonna look for somewhere to set this phone. Gosh, I hope I can find something. And we will get a shot of it going down the road. That's cool. Feels good, man. It feels good. That is just awesome. It's shifting great. Oil pressure, spot on. I think I actually built a good car. It just took me like a year. All right, let's see. Ooh, that's a good spot. It's kind of far away, but it's a good spot. believe it works, man. I can't believe it works. Oh, so happy. All right, so the car runs and drives, but we're not done yet. I've still got some pieces to fix. Now, we're gonna finish this video by taking it to paint. So I've gotta get some stuff done before that so that when I get it back from paint, I can just finish the car out and be done. I am going to finish this car in the next video. Now, it's gonna be a 5-video series. It's taken me a year to produce. And I don't want to talk about it, but I'm gonna finish it in the next video. So we are gonna get it to paint, but I've gotta fix some things before that. Okay, I've got the entire interior apart again. I had some broken plastic, and I gotta fix it. So a lot of it broke on reassembly, which is a little bit of a bummer, but it's old and it's brittle. You can see this is broken in several places. This piece broke all the way off. A new one in the UK is about $65. A new one here is about $300, and then you still don't know the condition of the plastic. This plastic actually feels okay. I think I was just flexing it too much when putting it in. So I'm gonna fix it, and I'm gonna fix it with a new tool that I got that I'll link below if I remember. But it's Fiberflex and what's this place called? What's it called? Polyvance. It's Fiberflex, which is from a company called Polyvance. I bought this for another project actually, but it's gonna work great here, and I've already tested it. This is the first time I've successfully plastic welded something. I welded this thing back on, and it's very strong, as you can see, not going anywhere. And then also this top piece right here was broken, and not anymore. So very, very happy with this product. I've tried a lot of different plastic welding techniques. I've never been crazy about any of them, but this one's actually pretty good. So what we're gonna do first, I think, is repair this, make it one unit again, and then we'll make our little modification for the gauge, and I think it'll be really nice. Now, I do have a tutorial coming on how to use this thing. This is not that. I've got a lot of repairs to make, and I've got a lot of work to do today because the car has to go to paint tomorrow. So we're just gonna do the work. You can watch me do the work. There's a video coming out maybe before this one, maybe after, I'm not really sure, where I show you how that thing works. I really love that tool. It will get its own drawer in the new shop. There we go, and we have a solid piece again. It's really solid. I welded this gauge pod on too, so that's kind of cool. I think that's actually supposed to be like a hood to keep the sun out. We don't have to worry about the sun, and so we just flipped it around and welded it from the inside, and now that is on permanently as well. I didn't feel too bad about welding that there because I had already cut the hole, and I've already modified this thing a bunch anyway. So I think with that, I mean, it feels really strong. All of the cracks are reinforced with metal. I did burn my thumb pretty good, so I've got some ice taped to it. But I've reinforced all the cracks with metal, put in the Fiberflex, which is reinforced with fiberglass, I assume, some sort of fiber, and welded in the gauge. That's all good. The center console is now 100% again, which means we can install the interior for the final time, like period. It'll be in and done forever. So man, that would be a huge bummer. It also makes sense why this thing was so hard to get on, but man, that means I gotta take everything off. Ah, man, surely, did I do that? I'm running out of time, man. Man, this car, dude, this car is so difficult to work on. This is such a difficult car to work on. I hate it. All right, I've got to disassemble everything I just assembled. I shouldn't have said it was the final time, so that I can straighten that out and hopefully save it. Oh, goodness, that is brutal. Brutal. There we go. Problem solved. I had bent this one up when putting on the plastic, which is pretty impressive because it bent it. It bent the metal before any of these cracks actually cracked. You can see the crack, obviously, but it's still very much a solid piece. There, and there's one somewhere around here. So very cool, very happy with that. All right, now I just have to do everything I've already done. I'll put all that in and we'll continue kind of building this out and finishing the interior, finally. All right, kind of an abrupt ending, but I did have to take it to paint. Now, where did I take it to paint? That's an interesting question. I took it here. Yeah, Mako. I took it to Mako, and it's a little bit nerve-wracking, but I went to Mako and I checked every box that they have. I got the best thing that they can do, the best paint job Mako can do, and I'm hoping that it is good enough. And I just won't know until I go pick the car up next week. I'm very, very hopeful. I'm also very, very nervous. I'll see you guys in the next one.